Hey, Bill.
What do you think?
Oh, he did. Director of communications, television. Did he come out every few days? Yeah, and just took pictures of what they were doing, right? Right, and then pulled it all together.
What a lift that check is.
That's right.
That's the kind of trustees we need.
Had such good news yesterday.
I think so. But we need to raise money for that library. Yeah, we were saving up money for $1 million base. I'd like to have two, but you know how that is when you build a building. You'll never have enough for your whole thing. I think if we could get $1 million in private funds, $3 million, $2 million, Sure. We've talked, yeah.
And this is the first
Yes, I know it.
You know, they did better here.
A great day. First with you.
Well, I think this is a real celebration. Bill and I have been involved in this for about 10 years, haven't we, Bill?
Yeah.
And it was years, for years they would, the board members come up to us and say, well, when are you going to have the dormitories, or when are you going to start the dormitories? And we bought this particular piece of ground we're standing on here about 10 years ago, and gave it to the university. And then as time went on, we kept trying to develop it, and with the bond issue that came out, the $12 million, there was enough funds available to do that building, and we were able to go ahead and proceed. You want to add anything to that, Bill?
And real tight, Bill, because of the
Real tight.
the music. But,
Yeah, that music's great.
I'm Bill Neal, by the way.
Hi, Bill.
Head the TV department.
Oh, great.
And I'm also recording this for LVTV, our cable
Great.
channel.
Well, I think it's great that they were able to save the trees here, and Gary, our superintendent, I think did a great job. This is my first time since it's been completed, and I'm really impressed with it. And I think Ben and Gary really did a nice job here with it. I was just glad I could help contribute to it.
Thank you very
Thanks a
much.
lot.
Hi, yes, we've met. Nice to see you again. Well,
Nice place.
all the Harrises are here, we can start.
Well, what a beautiful day.
That's a nice day.
Yeah, we ordered this especially.
Yeah, boy, you got a way of doing things, Steve. You got a.
Well, then Ben paid for it, so.
We got a video taking a video here.
Okay, we're about ready. In fact, I think both Bill and Ben Harris are on diets for 125 years of longevity, yet we were still worried that we might not all live to see this day when it first started some 10 years ago. But we are here today and extremely pleased to be here to dedicate this magnificent facility. I want to thank Michael Ryan and Adam Kaplan for providing the musical entertainment, and I think they'll be providing some more after the ceremony. Both of them are affiliated with the University of La Verne. A project such as this is a partnership. That's the only way it could come to this day. A lot of people are involved in this kind of a project, and I want to start by introducing some of our government officials who are here, because they certainly played a role in making this possible. Today we have Barbara Cook, a field representative for Assemblyman Bill Lancaster. Barbara, thank you for coming today. And we have a number of people from the city of La Verne, and this has indeed been a partnership with the city of La Verne from the early days when we first started talking about our master plan, through the plan approval and through construction and occupancy. And we appreciate the partnership we enjoy with this city of La Verne. I'd like to introduce a number of people from the city, and I think it would probably be best if we hold our applause until all of them are standing or have waved to us and we recognize them in that way. We're going to hear in a few minutes from the mayor, but I want him to stand now, Mayor John Blickenstaff. We also have Councilman Patrick Gaddy back in the back row there. Judy Heil, a member of the Planning Commission. Jack Huntington, a member of the Planning Commission. Also have Marty Lamelli, the city manager, standing back in the blue blazer. Jeff Allred, the assistant city manager. Jeff is standing in the back. I don't see Steve Preston, the director of community development. Steve certainly played an important role in the construction of this facility, and particularly in the planning of this particular facility. And Dominic Milano, the city engineer. Did I miss any of the city officials? We want to thank all of you very much for your cooperation on this project. And I would like to call on this time to ask John Blickenstaff, the mayor of the city of La Verne, to say a few words on this occasion. John?
Thank you, Steve. I want to first commend the university for picking this day. I'm not sure how you did, but what a beautiful day for such a beautiful occasion. It's delightful to look around and see how well the planning has worked. The oak trees beside us here to build around them, preserve them. The idea in mind of having a housing project that is close to the university. The planning that went into this to make it all possible. Steve mentioned the word partnership, which is a real strong concept within our community. I just want to, again, congratulate and commend the university. I think that the crest of a wave of success is certainly a strong and dominant feature of the university at this time. La Verne is thrilled to be a part of that success, and this is just one example. There are many other projects coming along that will be indicative of the partnership between the city of La Verne and the University of La Verne. We're thrilled to be the hometown of the university, and we will do everything we can to extend that success and enhance it. And we thank you and congratulate you, Steve.
Thank you, John. This facility was constructed to house students. They have been promised this facility for some 10 years. I think 6 graduating classes have passed through and never saw a spade of dirt turned. And now we have students living here. They're happy in this facility. And I want to say that the Dean of Student Affairs really played a major role in the design of this particular facility. Lynn Hightower is the Dean of Student Affairs. He's not able to be with us today, but he deserves commendation for his role in helping us design this magnificent facility and designing a living plan that is working so well for us. But I have someone here to speak on behalf of the students, and I'd like to introduce Julie Vitale. Julie is a junior at the University of La Verne. She's the Student Federation representative to the Board of Trustees. She's a resident assistant, and as you'll see as she comes to the platform, she is the catcher on the women's softball team. She's an orientation week leader for 1990-91, and she also is the one who developed a program called the University of La Verne Hillcrest Adopt a Grandparent program. She wants to be a coach and a teacher, and I would be happy to have my daughter in her class. Julie?
Students on campus has also made ASF activities more successful and more accessible. There's a positive sense of community here at the Oaks, and although I do not live here, it seems to, the students I talk to seem to have 3 things in common that they like, and I call them the 3 C's. That's community, cable, and the co-ed floors. Because of these new residence halls, the students have a renewed faith in the university and their commitment to follow through with their promises. And although it's been a long day coming, they're well worth the wait. Thank you.
Thanks, Julie. Another aspect of building this kind of a project, of course, is the financing. After we had designed it and we had approval from the city, we had to find the money to build this particular facility. It came in large part through the issuing of $12 million worth of certificates of participation. Don't panic, not all $12 million was spent on this particular project. We want to thank the Long-Term Credit Bank and the Bank of America. They were key partners in this project in terms of gaining the financing, as was the City of La Verne, who served as our agent for the certificates of participation. And certainly a project like this cannot be built without capable architects. And we have enjoyed working with the firm of Wheeler & Wheeler. I would like to introduce members of that firm who have joined us today. We have Paul and Maureen Wheeler, the principals in the firm of Wheeler & Wheeler. Did Kelly come, Kelly Romine, who did some of the interior design for this particular facility. And Diana Jewell is here. And I want to say that Diana really rose to the occasion because we had broken ground, we had poured the footings, and the president said, is there any way we could make those rooms larger? And Diana went to work redrawing those plans in a very short period of time, and indeed we did make the room larger thanks to her efforts at the very last minute. And I think we have a facility that's working even better for us because we made those last minute changes, but she accommodated them. Is George Renville here? He's also a member of the Wheeler & Wheeler firm, and he is here today. We thank Wheeler & Wheeler, we thank Paul and Maureen for the part they played in making this such a successful project. And certainly a major piece of any project like this are the subcontractors, the people who actually do the construction work and build the facilities. I know that Luther Fisher, the electrical engineer, was going to be here today. Did he make it? He is here. Luther, would you raise your hand so we can recognize you? The electrical engineer on the project, we appreciate his attendance. And we also had a member of the University of La Verne Board of Trustees who played a major role as a subcontractor in this project, Mr. Jerry Laird, and Jerry is here with his wife Nancy. We want to thank Jerry for a job well done. He just continues to do outstanding work for the University of La Verne, and we appreciate it very much. Jerry and Nancy. Also, there were a group of people who stuck with this project from the early days of talking about it and the later days of talking about it and the later days of talking about it and finally this day of dedication. Members of the Board of Trustees of the University of La Verne who give freely of their time and their counsel and their resources to ensure that this university continues to move forward. I'd like to have them stand as I call their names, but I'd like to hold the applause until all of them have been introduced. We'll start with the chairman of the Board of Trustees, Ben Harris, and Bill Harris, a member of the Board of Trustees, Jim Long, Lowell Brubaker, Jerry Laird, who you've already met, but you can stand again, Jerry, that's fine. Paula Stanley. Gordon Whitby was going to be here. I haven't seen Gordon. He couldn't be here. Don Wilson. Ida Howell, is Ida here? Elvin Wilson. And Howard Beckner was going to be here. I didn't see Howard. Did I miss any trustees? Were there any other trustees who should be introduced? Members of the University of La Verne Board of Trustees. A project like this also can't be completed without some fine staff people who are on the job every single day, who pay attention to the details, who ride the subcontractors, who correct the mistakes. We were blessed with a team, two guys who really worked very well together. One of them is ours and one of them is the Harris brothers. And these two guys really made this project happen in many ways. And I'd like to call them up to the platform. Brian Worley, who is the Superintendent of Buildings and Grounds here at the University of La Verne, and Gary Fisher, who is really the President, Chief Executive Officer, and Chairman of the Board of Beach Cities Development Company, although the Harris brothers won't admit that. I'd like both of them to come forward because I do have something for them. What I have for you guys are empty picture frames. Now, we could give you a picture of the two of them, or better yet, we're going to put a color photograph of the oaks in here, but we wanted to wait. Now, this isn't a mistake, and it wasn't that we didn't meet our deadline. It's that we wanted to wait until the landscaping was a little more mature and the grass was green before we took the picture. But both of these gentlemen will receive a frame that has a picture in it of the oaks. This one says, Brian Worley, thank you for a job well done. And we have one for Gary Fisher that says the same thing. And gentlemen, we're not going to give you these frames today, but we are going to put a picture in and make an award at a later time to both of you in appreciation for the work that you did on a day-to-day basis for this project. I do have something you can take with you today, and that is a copy of the videotape that was made of the construction. There you are. You could play that in a small television framed by this picture frame. Thanks to both of you for a job well done. Really because of the Harrises that we're standing here today celebrating the completion of the Oaks. And we have some things that we'd like to give to the Harrises. I think most of you have seen that we have etched the glass on an area that we call the Harris Lounge. It's the major lounge in the facility. It has a fireplace and will over the years be the major meeting room for the students who live in the Oaks complex. And as we're speaking, we're taking a piece of paper off the wall in the lobby, and it will reveal resources made the completion of this student housing complex possible. And I'd like to add that if you know anything about Ben and Bill, their sense of humor also added to the completion of this project and made it enjoyable for all of us. So I'd like to give this plaque to Ben and to Barbara.